This week we have everything from a general that sees the potential of Hedera to the Dovu CTO talking staking. Let's get into it. Silverback Capital posted an interesting article from the Economic Times by retired Indian Lieutenant General Abhay Krishna. This rank is comparable to a 3-star general in the U.S. military. In the article, the general highlights the cybersecurity threat to financial, utility, and business infrastructure, citing several examples of past attacks, aggressors, including state actors, and potential future attack vectors. He also highlights that there's a potential solution called Zero Trust Architecture, saying the following: implementing Zero Trust Architecture with a proper DevOps approach will certainly contain the damage, as it tests everything and trusts nothing. Hedera Hashgraph, a Zero Trust Network architecture protocol partly owned by the likes of Google, LG, Tata Communications, Wipro, Boeing, IBM, and others, negates the issues of most centralized networks, that is, a single point of failure. Adopting Hedera Hashgraph as a security layer is cost-effective, easy to implement, energy-efficient, public but privacy-enabled solution which can be adopted by institutions, enterprises, and individuals the world over. The likes of NASA, Standard Bank, IIT Madras, and Shinhan Bank already implemented the network within their own information technology environment, and even Reserve Bank of India in a recent working paper referred to Hashgraph technology as a possible solution for all their rotary, secure funds transfer, and storage needs. It's not often that you see Hedera brought up with no mention of cryptocurrency, blockchain, HBAR, or DLT. The general simply sees it as infrastructure, a trust layer, and a solution to a problem. We've seen similar interest in the past, but I think the bifurcation between the monetary crypto aspects of Hedera and some of the dry utility will continue. But just because some of these use cases may be dry, it doesn't make the impacts on the HBAR any less exciting. Today we have Chief Strategy Officer for the HBAR Foundation, Don Thibault. Thanks for joining, Don.
Thanks for having me, Brandon. Excited for the conversation.
I just have a couple questions for you today. I'll start off with what are some of your predictions for crypto and Hedera use cases this year?
Absolutely. So I think we see two growth areas that are really going to accelerate early in 2022. One is the crypto economy, and the second is consumer brands building in the space. So with the Hedera smart contract service improvement, we're going to start to see native DeFi applications start to deploy on Hedera so that people can start yield farming, participating in AMMs, borrowing and lending tokens, and more. And that's a really organic and proven market in the crypto space that we're excited to see start to emerge on Hedera. The second, though, which is where we'll see a lot of market growth as a whole, is in the consumer brands space. Everybody from gaming platforms to sports teams is looking at tokenization in crypto and saying, how can I use this to better engage my consumer fan base? So I think we'll start to see these brands leveraging NFTs on Hedera for issuing collectibles or creating in-game assets and currencies that can be traded. And that type of activity, I think, is going to be a whole new category in the market that starts to accelerate.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. And you were talking about yield. It's amazing what a little bit of a yield can do for HBAR holders. I know people are really excited about that.
Oh, yeah. So are we.
Yeah. So what are some of the key enablement components in the Hedera ecosystem?
Absolutely. So with the improvement to the Hedera smart contract service, we'll see more efficient, cost-effective, and performant smart contracts be able to be deployed on Hedera, which is the core enabler. But on top of that, we're already starting to see the community really build and contribute open source tooling that allow you to create a test framework for a token you've issued or an auction contract for an NFT. Or, for instance, just a standard that can allow wallets to connect more easily between Web3 applications. So those different components that are created by teams and contributed to the community because they got value in using them are definitely one of the key enablers for success in a tokenized economy, and one that we're really eager to support at the HBAR Foundation.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. One of the things that I've been really impressed with, you were talking about the new upgraded smart contract platform. Hedera takes that information, whether it's HCS, HTS, or the new upgraded smart contracts, and they take the information they get from the market and they make the adjustments that they need to down the line.
Yeah, the Hedera improvement proposal process has really been an exciting success story, I think, of 2021, in showing how the community can both be contributing those ideas, validating those ideas, and in many cases, delivering on building those components. And so we'll definitely be targeting our grants to be each of those parties, whether you're creating a HIP yourself or wanting to contribute one. That's definitely an area where we're going to be actively supporting projects who are building.
Good stuff. Fantastic. Well, thanks again, Don. Anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
No, just always, we want to hear from the community. Our goal is to get incentives into the ecosystem as quickly and effectively as possible. So please reach out to myself on Twitter or our team on Twitter or to our website, hbarfoundation.org. And we'd love to talk to you and figure out what we can do to help you build.
Disruptive Investments pointed out that Blocknomy.net increased the ranking of HBAR above Polkadot. Blocknomy rates over 100 projects in several categories including platform, DeFi, NFTs, and enterprise solutions. To review and rate the projects, they look at several metrics including product progress, team, token fundamentals, GitHub activity, marketing and PR, partnerships, and uniqueness. Hedera has moved into the number 4 spot behind Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink in their overall rank. Considering the HBAR market cap is 162 times smaller than the top-ranked cryptocurrency on the list, 76 times smaller than number 2, and number 3 is not a competitor but a collaborator, our number 4 rank over the likes of Polkadot, Cardano, and XRP is a pretty good showing at this point.
Dovu is establishing a tokenized and data economy for carbon offsetting. We covered what they're doing last week. For an introduction, you can watch the last 2 minutes of that video. With that out of the way, we can jump right into what they're doing now with our guest, Dovu CTO, Matt Smithies. Welcome, Matt.
Well, firstly, Brandon, thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to talk with you today, and I'm so happy to be here.
Likewise. Well, just to get right into it, can you give us a rundown of where Dovu is in their roadmap to production?
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, it's been such a journey. I mean, as a quick background, Dovu has been around for a great many years, and we've probably been working with Hedera since the middle of 2020. My kind of personal work goes on a bit before that, but for the most part, we released our kind of marketplace MVP last year in August, and that was this kind of webinar whole experience there. Having 100 people on the webinar at once trying to go through the demo, that was kind of a scary time, but we managed to get through it. Yeah, like after that webinar, the amount of kind of the MVP was released, the amount of kind of positive feedback and response we got from the community of Hedera and their partners was incredible. And so we kind of took a little bit of time to reassess and understand what were the needs, what people wanted, what people needed. And so we actually decided to take the strategic decision to kind of rebuild the entire app and the architecture from scratch. And that is the result of the Carbon Marketplace that came out in December of 2021. So It's been out for just over a month now. And so in real terms, we've sold about 80% of our stock, and we have a solid foundation to just build what we need and to kind of meet the needs of Hedera, their clients, or kind of partners who kind of come and kind of talk with us. It is quite exciting. But that was last year. Do you want to know now?
Absolutely.
Okay. Next stage, our Carbon Market Beta, which is going to be a whole new redesign of the marketplace. Carbon onboarding, which is going to be an internal tool for farmers and auditors to come in, sign off on particular things. And this is eventually going to connect to the Hedera, kind of the Envision Guardian, which I'm sure you've probably talked about previously. And this is all those things together are going to kind of make our audit trail. Now, one of the things I'm really excited about is Dovu staking. We have spent so long trying to figure out the best path to go down. So probably between 6 months and a year, we have been researching different types of staking platforms, from Olympus to Woo to all these things. And we have effectively picked, and there's going to be a blog post on this out by the time this goes live. We've picked a platform that we've been inspired by, but we're actually building the entire staking system on Hedera native. And so we would be able to spit out rewards as quick as possible, and the actual rewards, the the tokens you'd be able to use for utility within the platform will be completely custody. They won't be locked in any contract. You'll be able to move them in and out and stuff. And so we're excited in this quarter to kind of get that out there.
Well, I'm excited about it too. And I know our audience loves to hear about staking. So as soon as you get some more details on that, pass it on and I'll make sure everybody hears about it. How do you actually use Hedera? Is it HCS? Is it HTS? Is it a combination of both?
Yes. So we are I'm a big proponent of Hedera. I've worked with them for a while, and basically in the system we use HCS and HTS, effectively a combination. The best way of thinking about it is we kind of almost pioneered the way of combining them. So you could take a token and then connect it to one of these topics, and so you could have this asset that's connected to effectively an infinite amount of evidence. Effectively, it unlocks the opportunity to tokenize real life assets, like all the first stages of that, and that's kind of connected into into like the carbon offsets and things. Now, in terms of kind of market potential, I do believe fundamentally that the carbon offset arena is significantly undervalued. It's projected in the next 10 years. Offsets as a new asset is going to probably worth in the hundreds of billions. I wouldn't be surprised if, the actual kind of assets connected to offsets would be worth like $1 trillion. And this for us represents an opportunity, not only with working with Hedera as a flagship dApp, but they're connected to a governance council, and that structure of that means that not only can we create something amazing on their network, but we can actually provide a solution for them to connect to their council and for all their clients. And so that in itself is huge.
Sure, absolutely. What partners are you working with right now? Are they within the Hedera Council, or do you have other partners that you're working with?
We have a number of partners. News of these partners will probably come out in the next couple of weeks, if that's an acceptable answer.
That'll be fine. We'll cover it when it comes out. That's no problem. We usually keep these interviews pretty short form. So Thank you so much for coming on, Matt. Do you have anything else you'd like to pass on to the community before you go?
I just want to say thank you for your hard work putting these videos out there. It's really helpful that I'm in my corner trying to solve these problems, and I don't really have the time to reach out or do stuff. And it's really amazing to have these opportunities to come here and talk with you. And thank you so much for you and everyone who's watching.
Well, you're welcome back anytime as you guys execute on your vision.
We covered the addition of ServiceNow to the Hedera Council and their plans to integrate Hedera into their Now platform a couple months ago. Hedera's Garrett Coons did a great interview with ServiceNow's Nicola Attico. Here are some highlights.
Hey guys, could you tell us a little bit more about ServiceNow and what you guys do there?
Yeah, ServiceNow is all about digital workflows. These are workflows that create experiences and unlock productivity for customer. One of the famous quotes of our CEO, Bill McDermott, is behind every great experience, there is a great workflow. And this truly means that when work flows naturally in the organization, customer and employee experience follows. So ServiceNow provides workflow for IT, employee, customer, and creator.
And so, for a company like ServiceNow, where you have a massive amount of customers, especially in the Fortune 500 enterprise space, where did you start to look at distributed ledgers, and what was the motivation for doing so?
I think we recognize that DLT are progressively becoming relevant for businesses because they have fully embraced digital transformation now, and they are becoming more interconnected. So this is the reason why we are looking into the DLT technology. And we believe Hedera provide the most secure and enterprise-oriented distributed ledger technology in the market. And this is why we are partnering with you guys. And it's all about speed from one side, sustainability of the network, the ecosystem, and the governance that you can provide. I believe we are very interested in the governance, and we recognize that governance is a key component of DLT and Hedera specifically. So we wanted to be part of that. So we want to take the possibility to influence the roadmap of Hedera as a network and to take a decision about the way the network itself is managed and operated. So these are the key drivers for us to be part of the council. And on top of that, many of the company on the council are our customer or partners. So we believe also there is a great opportunity of collaboration and building together innovative use cases.
And when it comes to those use cases, where do you see the interest? What do you think makes sense today? And maybe we can get a little bit more in the future as well.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot to say on that topic. The intersection between digital workflows and DLT is actually very broad. We think there are four main areas for adopting distributed ledger technologies in digital workflows that are, from one side, the process and data integrity, then tokenization, digital assets, as well as digital identity and multi-party business processes. And all these use cases are relevant across the Now platform. So there are key areas where basically ServiceNow can be augmented by Hedera capabilities. There are many of them like sustainability, supply chain, vendor management, procurement, even connected operation, fraud detection, SLAs. So it's a very broad spectrum of options. And on top of that, we think that partnering with Hedera, we can also simplify DLT adoptions for our customer, and we can use the Now platform low-code capabilities to eliminate barriers for enterprise to incorporate the benefit of DLTs. So these are the reasons why we are very excited to work with Hedera.
Besides what we've already discussed, there's been some positive developments in the Hedera ecosystem, including testnet volume blowing up, which may foreshadow a step change in mainnet transactions, and Celsius announcing support for HBAR, which will give HBAR holders another way to earn some income. But for the most part, HBAR has followed the broader crypto market. Luckily, Bitcoin broke 42,000, the upper limit of the range we discussed last week. This has allowed HBAR to put in a 4% gain for the week. Currently, we're sitting at about 28 cents, and I'm watching this trend line for support at about 24 cents. It looks like 30 cents is setting up as resistance again. If we break that, I'll be eyeing the 34 to 35 cent range. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this content, and hit that notification bell to know when the next video drops.